There's never been a better time to double down on your business if you're a real estate agent or a loan officer than right now. Let's get clear on how you can take advantage of everything that's going on with NAR and the shift in the whole real estate industry and own it. If you just landed here and we've never met before, my name's Alisia Krastel, and on this channel, we do things differently than 85% of the rest of the industry. We take simple yet powerful systems and strategies to help you make more money and able to have fun and a life outside of real estate. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video to help you build and grow your business and save time. We don't need to recap the compensation issues going on with NAR and the whole real estate industry. Let's just get into how we're going to deal with this in 3 of the simplest ways I'm going to break down for you so you can keep your eye on what matters most. The number one thing we're going to do, and I think many agents I've seen on social media are already like freaking out about how compensation is going to be laid out, where it's going to come from. And I'm here to tell you it matters, but it doesn't really matter. The most important thing that matters is what they're going to net. What is the seller going to net? What is the buyer going to net? If you can keep your focus there, you're going to be able to better help your clients, the seller, understand how much is coming into their pocket overall, and the buyer, how much is leaving their pocket overall. And where it comes from is going to be less important than the bottom number. They don't need to be distracted by all of the extra that the industry is throwing at them right now. And you don't need to be distracted by all of the extra. And by distracted, I don't mean you shouldn't learn your forms and you shouldn't get your broker information and you shouldn't have a plan of how to explain these things in detail. I mean, you don't go in the mud with that and then forget that really at the end of the day, the net is what matters. Number 2 is transparency and clarity. We are going to have to be able to bring clarity, and you are going to have to wrap your head around what the clarity is for your clients that they need to know most, the net. And obviously clarity behind the scenes for you so you know exactly what you're filling out, how it covers people, and how to explain that. One way to hit the clarity and transparency at the same time is to have a conversation about how compensation is negotiable. It has always been negotiable. And now we're moving more toward the compensation is being negotiated with the contract. You and the seller can have a conversation and buyer about how much they're willing to spend, what it looks like for them. Obviously, the buyer is going to have a buyer's agreement with you and dictate how much they're willing to pay, which I walk through an entire video about what the buyer's broker agreement looks like for me, and it will be obviously updated in the next couple weeks. Just being open about the scenarios on how this will and could work out. I want to hit the clarity portion as part of your marketing just a little bit in this before we move on to 3. As we move forward, if you do not have a clear picture of who you want to work with, the business is going to get more and more difficult. Because I see over and over again agents saying, well, I want listings, but they're making videos, they're sending emails about buyer stuff. They're sharing information that can help buyers, that are programs for buyers. That is not how you get listings. You get listings from getting in front of home sellers, homeowners, before they have a problem that you need to help them with. So you're making content for them well before they'll ever need you. If you don't have that clarity, happy to help you. We have a lot of videos that can help you walk through how to make content specific for the exact type of client that you want. Let me know if clarity is one of the things that you're seeking most. Type clarity in the comments so we can do a whole video about how to get that. Number 4 is how to articulate your value to the people who need you most. There are going to be a lot of agents out there fumbling along, figuring out what is the real value that I have here. And some of them do not believe it. They didn't believe it before all this happened, and they definitely are having a hard time believing it now. This isn't just new agents either. I see veteran agents who are struggling with their value at this point. You have to understand it, believe it, and then be able to articulate it to the client that you want or prospective client that you want. And to be clear, have clarity, I'm not talking about my value is and a list of things that you do for buyers and sellers that goes on social media. Like not a canned thing that shows your points of value. Talking more anecdotal of how you help people. That might take you sitting down and looking at all of your past transactions and saying, what are the last 10 transactions I had where I helped people most? And make sure that that aligns with the type of client that you want in the future. Are there times where you can retell something that where you just saved someone and you know it? Do you have access to certain things? Do you have an intimate knowledge of certain things in your town or city? Do you have a process? Is there part of your marketing strategy that no one else is doing? Are you on YouTube and not many other agents are, that you can really highlight that and how you've been able to get more buyers because of that for your seller? You being able to articulate this is also going to help your sphere and get referrals from your sphere, because they might be hearing stuff that's going on about NAR and how things are changed and how compensation changes. They're going to want to hear it from you because they trust you. You know how when you hear from a national newspaper or a worldwide newspaper, like, okay, you're like, maybe. But then if you hear from a local newspaper, like the Real Juice, you trust it more than the big company or the big newspaper. That is what this is like. Anyone who has a relationship with you, they're going to hear all the stuff, but then you're going to bring it in and give them a clear picture of what's exactly happening and what's important to them. That is going to help bring you trust. That is going to help bring you referrals, because trust is more important in this business than it ever has been. And if they trust you, the rest of this, of what you focus on, it is going to feel good to them because they trust what you're saying. If you like this video and you want to continue making this whole transition powerful for you and actually an opportunity where you want to grow, make sure you hit the subscribe so you don't miss any videos to help you do that. And please comment below, because I read all of your comments and a lot of times I make videos in response to them.